Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great start to your week so far. Happy Tuesday. Gonna have some exciting stuff this week. All of our focus kind of internally is more on imposter, which is happening next week, which is crazy to think. I don't really know how it's already here, but it is. Uh, Most of the people for imposter are arriving Sunday, which is crazy. So we're going to be filming that this week. We're super excited for that. I'll let you know next week where there won't be a live stream because we'll be filming imposter. I'll let you know the week after kind of how it goes in general. Obviously I won't reveal anything because it'll be releasing in November, but yeah. Some people have been asking about the Sky Bros disc. There was some left over from us vending in Des Moines at the Discmania Challenge, so those are going to be shipped to us, and we will be releasing them online, what's left over. Not a ton left over, but what's left over we'll be releasing probably next week, maybe a few weeks from now. I don't exactly know when it'll be, but just be aware of that. That way you're not buying them for like 40 or 50 bucks on Facebook Marketplace unless you just can't wait. Releasing this week, though, we have some fun stuff from Discmania dropping tomorrow. There's going to be a Kyle Klein Horizon S-Line Vanguard. I actually probably need to pick one of those up. A Nicholas Antela Swirly D-Line MD3. I actually saw these at the Discmania booth this weekend. Very cool. Flex 2 P-Line P1s, P2s, and P1Xs. There's also going to be the Project Grip from Latitude 64 is finally releasing on July 3rd. There's going to be the Brave, the Grace, and the Rive, so super excited about that. West Side, there's a Patriotic stamped Tournament Orbit Pine dropping. And then the pre-order for MVP is still live. So for the Eclipse Servo, the Eclipse Tesla, and then the Turbulence, which I've had a chance to talk to some MVP pros, and it sounds like the Turbulence is usably overstable, but it just kind of dies at the end. So once it slows up, it just falls out of the air. So I'm really excited to get our hands on that whenever that comes in. And then we also have a bunch of Foundation custom stamps in stock. So we released some new ones of the Building Your Game stamps. So there's like UV Z Zones, there's Big Z Glow Buzzes, ESP Swirl Passions. We also still have some Toro Its and Destroyers with the modern stamp on there. There's still the Heck Yeah stamp on MVP. A bunch of fun custom stamp stuff is live over on the site, so we're going to be kind of highlighting that this week as well. But yeah, so first things first, it's now a new month, which means it's time for a new putter. Thank goodness. No offense to the Ion, but the Ion is not for me. You gotta have some more spin on it. Gotta have some more pop on it. I'm sick of it. I'm excited to get away from it. So we have our worst selling putters from last month pulled up. There are 4 that are eligible because these putters basically have to have sold at least one in the previous month, and we have to have some in stock for me to putt with. Those are the 2 parameters. So what we have is the Rico from Castaplast. We have the Steady BL from DGA. We also have the Steady from DGA, and we have the Challenger OS from Discraft. Those are the 4 that are available. I'm going to be putting these into a poll on YouTube. So this is going to decide my putter for July. So let's see here. We have the Rico. Sorry, just hit the mic. We have the Steady BL, which is Steady BL is just the beadless version of the Steady. We have the Steady, which is the beaded version of the Steady. And then we have the Challenger OS. So here you go. The poll has been started. Let your vote be known over on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, feel free to head over to my YouTube and make your opinion known there. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, well, I guess I'll talk about 2 things. First, the Creator Challenge went down last week, and I think it went off pretty great. From what I understand, I think there's some things to work out with in regards to the live stream, but it was their first time doing it, so they're kind of figuring out the flow and stuff. So I think if they do it again, it'll be a lot better. But as far as on the grounds goes, I think it was great. There is a decent turnout, probably about 100 people, maybe even more, 150 maybe, that came out. We had to move it from, it was supposed to be at 6 p.m., which I think would have helped the live viewers online. And I also think it would have helped the in-person viewership. There was a lot of people that told me they had bought tickets but then couldn't make it because of work. But we had to move it back due to storms. So they moved it from 6 p.m. Central Time to 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. Central Time. It started off, it was an absolute blast. It was awesome. I always love anything where we get to hang out with a lot of creators, because it's always a good time just talking shop, talking disc golf content and stuff. And spoiler alert, some of the creators that were present at the Creator Challenge will be an imposter this year. We'll have a full imposter cast reveal sometime between when we film it this upcoming week and when November rolls around. But some of the people that were in the Creator Challenge, you'll be seeing an imposter. So it was also fun to hang out with them knowing we're about to see them again. But I think it was awesome. I also think it was a great opportunity for some people who are trying to like make disc golf content more of their full-time thing. For some people who, I don't know, it just all around was a blast. So hopefully y'all had fun watching it. I had a lot of fun being a part of it, and I'm excited to hopefully be a part of it again next year. And then out at Des Moines, I think it was a really fun actually getting to see Pickard Park. I think the park's great. It's fun going to different Pro Tour events because every event has its own little flair. Every event has its own little, like, there's something unique about it, something different, something that could improve, something that other events could learn from. So overall, I had a great time out in Iowa. Didn't have a great time getting there, but had a great time while I was there and a great time being back at home. So all great stuff. So now that the month of June's over, we also have the June top 25. So I'm going to go over the June top 25, and then once I finish this up, I'll start taking some questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comment section, and we'll go through that. So I'm going to go from 25 up to number 1. These are the best-selling discs from the month of June. So coming in at number 25 actually really surprises me because this disc has made the list several times before, but it typically is because there's a custom stamp of some type. And when I was looking at the sales data, I don't think there was any custom stamps. I think this was just straight up this disc made the top 25 on its own, which I think is pretty awesome. So number 25 is the Gateway Wizard, which I think is awesome. Made it on there by itself. Coming in number 24, no surprise here, we had the Simon Line Balance. So I think that makes perfect sense. The Simon Line Balance is always on here. Number 23, we had the FD3, mainly led by Alden Harris. Alden Harris's Solar Flare dropped this past month, so no surprise there. Number 22, the Discraft Soul. I mean, I love the Discraft Soul, but I didn't know a lot of other people did. But, great on it. Number 21, the Diamond from Latitude 64, always popular, no surprise there. Number 20, the Uplink from MVP, again, no surprise. Number 19, a little bit of a surprise, which was the the Latitude 64 River. I think this is mainly due to the Splash, Opto Ice Splash Rivers, which I actually had in my bag for a little bit, but those are a great time. So I think that really helped the River sales, the Splash, but that came in at number 19. Coming in number 18, we had the Axiom Trance. This actually really surprised me that it fell this low. I mean, it was a brand new release. I really thought it was going to pull its weight a little bit more. It actually kind of struggled overall. So pretty surprising. It's a great flyer, so I think over time it'll do well. But I was just surprised it didn't have more of a punch when it first dropped, which was here. So falling all the way down to 18. Number 17, we had the Proxy from Axiom. No surprise there. 16, the Glitch. This is funny, but I'll explain why in a second, because number 15, we had the Vessel, which is the new release from Thought Space Athletics in collaboration with Discraft. This is what the Ringer Top Zone got rebranded to. I actually have one in my bag right now, just kind of messing around with it. But I'll explain why I find this funny in a little bit, because it'll make sense. But the Vessel, new release there. This is actually, I think, the first time Thought Space has made it on a top 25. I'm pretty sure. Coming in number 14, we had the Discraft Heat. This is, I think, a lot due to the great run that is the Build Your Game. I've been talking a lot about those. If you're looking for an overstable heat, overstable for a heat, it's not really truly overstable. It still has good flip up and stuff. Then the Build Your Game ones are phenomenal. They're Z Jawbreaker, and they're real stiff rims. They're nice and overstable for a heat. So they still are flippy, but definitely overstable for a heat. So I think that really helped those sales. Coming in number 13, we had the Discraft Passion. No surprise there. Number 12, this actually surprised me again with how low it was, which was the Dimension, mainly because we had both the pre-order and the actual release of the Eagle McMahon Plasma Dimension during the month of June. And you'll see some discs above it that are just stock discs that beat it out. So surprising there with how low the Dimension ended up. Coming in number 11, we have the Axiom Envy. And then number 10, this is what's funny to me about the Vessel, is the Ringer Top Zone. So this was a Robbie C custom stamp release. They allowed us to do Ringer Top Zones. And we honestly would have sold a lot more. We just sold all we had. And they sold out really quick. So we could have sold a lot more, but the Ringer Top Zone sold extremely well. And then the Vessel sold decently well. But I'll be curious if people jump over to the Vessel or if people want the Discraft version, because this month obviously people wanted the Discraft version, but we'll see if that reigns true or if what happens there. Next up, number 9, we had the Hex. No surprise. Number 8, the Zone OS. A little surprised at how high this got, mainly because I feel like the Zone OS isn't as popular as I would have expected, but here it is in number 8. Number 7, really excited to see this disc up here, the Cicada. The Robbie C ESP Cicadas definitely helped this cause, but I actually have one in my bag. I absolutely love the Cicada. Great hyzer flip turning disc. It's good stuff. So next, number 6, we have the Trail. This is partially due to the Fission Trail, but also the Trail is just wildly popular, so no surprise there. Coming in at number 5, we have the Discraft Luna. I think this has to be because of the Tour Series Luna. That's the only thing that really makes sense to me, because only time the Lunas appeared on a top 25 list for us this year was in January, where it was in number 12, but typically is not in our top 25. And we sold a considerable amount of Lunas this month. So I think a lot of it's due to the Tour Series. I think a lot of people are looking for Lunas that fly like that 2020 Tour Series. Obviously, this year's the same plastic, so I think that definitely helps its cause. But here it is, sitting number 5. Number 4, no surprise, the Discraft Zone. It seems to always be in the top 5 somewhere. Same for this next disc. Number 3, the Discraft Buzz. I think it jumped to the Zone mainly because it had the Fused Buzz restock. If they ever do a fused run of the Zone, I don't know what they would put in there, but if they ever do that, it's going to be wildly popular. Then number 2, we had the pre-order for the Turbulence, which obviously we were just talking about. Pre-orders are still live on the site. But the new Streamline disc that has a flight reduction profile. So basically it's concave built into the mold for a fairway driver. That came out at number 2. And number 1, best-selling disc for the month of June, actually dropped this past Friday, but sold out yet again, because y'all are crazy. Absolutely love y'all. The Thunderbird. This is pretty much all due to the Hunterbird sales. So the Hunterbird really carried it. And the Thunderbird, it's a great disc in general. I absolutely love the Thunderbird. Always have, always will. But people freak out over the Hunterbird. So, number 1, the Thunderbird. So there you have it. That was the top-selling discs of the month of June. I'm going to release that blog probably today. And I'll also get up the top-selling discs of the quarter. Probably do top 25 or top 50 for this past quarter, since now we're into Q3 somehow. It's just wild how fast this year is going. We're already six months in. So, yeah. Let's answer some questions. Carlos asked, did any Sky Bros make it back? I answered this earlier, but a lot of new people are here. Yes, there will be some Sky Bros. They're shipping them to us, so it probably won't release this week. Probably either next week or the week after. We'll have some on the site, whatever's left from Music City. Or sorry, not Music City, from Discmania Challenge. So that is the plan. There will be some Sky Bros hitting the site at some point. Not a ton, but there will be some. Sumaleth said, did I notice Robbie C had the magic touch this weekend? Caddied for Cadence and played with Ezra. Might as well have given Robbie the trophies. It's very funny. I definitely think Robbie helped with Cadence because Cadence is still young, figuring a lot of stuff out on tour. And if you're watching that final round, obviously that like whole 12 to 14 stretch, Cadence started to slip. And I think having someone there to, provide some advice to, keep their head on straight and help get Cadence back on track definitely helped in those moments. But obviously Robbie can't take any credit for the shots that Cadence executed down the stretch. I mean, be able to execute that upshot on 17 perfectly and then the drive and upshot on 18 to put all the pressure on Holland. Unbelievable performance from Cadence all weekend long. Really, she only slipped up during that one little stretch in the final round. And if you take that away, she absolutely dominated this weekend. So well-deserved win from Cadence. But it is funny that Robbie's tied to both of them in some way, shape, or form. So Thomas of the Jackson. Well, first off, Shay said, coming here to protest YouTube's excessive ads. So Shay doesn't want me to make any money. Appreciate you, Shay. I didn't want to pay the bills anyways. Thomas of the Jackson said, what is your favorite? That's a joke, by the way. I don't control the live stream ads. YouTube just throws them in there. Thomas of the Jackson said, what is your favorite Discraft driver? For a long time it was the Zeus. And it probably still is, but if I had to go all Discraft, the one I'd lean on the most is the Force. The only reason I don't lean on the Force so much is because I like the Destroyer. So I don't really know how to answer that because in the grand scheme of things, I like the Zeus mold, but if I was like all Discraft, I'd want the Force more than the Zeus, if that makes sense. So scroll down on Instagram here. See if there's any other ones. Oh, someone said was waiting for Innova to be mentioned. That's a good point. Is Innova completely missing from the top 25? It is. Wow. Yeah, the first Innova disc, funny enough, is the Wombat 3, and it comes in around 30th, it looks like. Now, obviously, it might come in actually lower than that. I don't know because I can't see. I have to combine. There's like, if the Avenger SS, if there's also another, Tour Series Avenger SS, that's still the mold, so we have to like combine those. So, the Innova It. Sorry, the Innova It comes in at number 26. That's the top selling Innova disc. But that is a good point. No, Innova. Oh, frick. Thunderbird. Thank you, Forrest. You caught me. Innova leads the top 25 with the Thunderbird. But after that, so really the only, without the Hunterbird, the It and the Wombat 3 would have been 1-2 for Innova. But that is a great point because other than that, I mean, Innova and Gateway are tied in the top 25 as far as like, how many discs they put into the top 25. So, funny stuff. Interesting. MK45 Henry says, kind of want to try out a Big Z Hades. I throw 425 to 450 consistently. Would it be good for me? It will be too flippy. You most likely want a Big Z Zeus. If you want something to give a little flip up, give a little turn, the Hades at that distance, at that amount of power, your best bet is if you can find a really domey Hades, but that just doesn't happen very often. The Innova Charger is a great option. Also, the Jessica Weiss Strike is another good option that if you're looking at a Big Z Hades, probably both of those will fly closer to what you're looking for. But the Discraft Zeus should also accomplish it for you. Carlos said, you've obviously played with a lot of pros before, but did any of the pros stand out last weekend during the Creator Challenge, whether it was skill-wise or personality? I think all the pros that were a part of the Creator Challenge I've already played with. Especially on my card, I had Brody, Ezra, Ulibarri, and Silas Schultz, and I've played and filmed with all of them multiple times. And the other card was what? Simon, Gannon, and who else was it? So it was Jay Miller. Who's Bedanza? Oh, Alden, which also I'd filmed with. So no, none of them, because I filmed with them before. watching a player like Simon Lizotte throw in person the first time is mind-boggling, but I've already seen it. I think Silas Schultz is one of the most underrated personalities on tour. People don't realize how funny he is in his personality. But what was also cool was our card being, Brody, Ezra, Yuli, Silas Schultz, and then me, Trevor, Robbie, Broderick. Like, we all meshed super well. And so I don't know how much it came through on coverage, but we had an absolute blast out there. I think our card was definitely the more entertaining card when it comes to non-disc golf. The other card was better better disc golf, but yeah. Let's see here. Am I making it to D-Glow this year? No. Do we have any collabs planned within the Pro Tour Championship? Yes, we will get some. What's my favorite end of a distance driver? The Destroyer. Oh, everyone's saying Thunderbird. That's funny. Are we gonna restock the Atlas bag? Yes, we are going to at some point soon. I don't know how soon it is, so. Okay, I think I'm caught up on Instagram. Let me get caught up on YouTube. Have we ever considered doing a series where employees at Foundation take on a low-level AM disc golfer and help train them to have attorneys who are the best coaches? We've talked about doing some type of training content like that. I think that it's a fun idea. I don't think it would do good on our main channel. It might be something that'd be good on our labs channel, our Foundation Labs channel. So I think that that's definitely something we could do. Robbie C has done something very similar on his channel. But yeah. Carl said, are there going to be any new Get Better Here courses on the website? Yeah, there will be. I don't know when. Probably one a quarter was our original goal. But the subscription product on there exists less so that we update it regularly, more so that you can work through the courses at a discounted price at your own pace. So you can just pay $10, and if you can crank through them all in 1 month, sick. It only costs you $10. If it takes you 2 or 3 months to get through them all, okay, it still only costs you $30 versus it's $15 per. So it's not supposed to be pay for a subscription and be on it indefinitely. It's supposed to be pay for the subscription to work through it at your own pace, and also if you want to jump ahead to this one, come back to this one, rewatch one, whatever, you have it. So yeah, that's kind of the reason it exists. We are going to try to update it somewhat frequently, but we want to always be very clear that you don't pay for the subscription because you're expecting regularly updated content. That's our Patreon. If you want regularly updated stuff, that's the Patreon. We're not going to be posting a new coaching product every month or every few weeks, because we want these to be evergreen. We want them to be really, really solid and build it out where it covers all the aspects of disc golf in a really professional way, and we aren't just going to throw courses out there just to throw courses out there. I think that's too much of that going on. So we're going to just stick to the basics, stick to the really good stuff, and have that up there as needed. So there will be some more, but I'm not going to promise when. Can I update Coffee Break on Apple Podcasts? Ever since going live, I don't really do it as a podcast anymore because if I just sit down and go live, there's no more work to it after that. And that's kind of the purpose of this, is just hang out, Q&A, answer questions, show what's going on in Foundation. So if it got bigger, maybe, but for right now, I'm happy with where it's at. Just a chill Q&A. So your camera flickering is going to kill me. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it. It's been doing that for a while, but it's the only camera I have, the only webcam I have. So I got to figure something out for it. Caleb Christensen, been wanting to try pour over coffee. Any tips to start, and what tools do you use? Honestly, it's not too expensive to get into it. I would definitely recommend, if you're trying to stay on the budget side, a burr grinder is your best bet. Stay away from blade grinders. Blade grinders are going to be way more inconsistent. So a lot of people go with a Cuisinart or something. Those are going to be really inconsistent. They might make a burr grinder, but the blade ones just don't give you a consistent grind. So it's actually better to get a hand grind burr grinder, which you can get for pretty cheap on Amazon. You just throw in the coffee you need, grind it up. and you're good to go. Man, the camera's really flickering today, huh? I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm sorry. I wonder if it's like, do I hit and it doesn't? I don't know. So I would get a burr grinder. I use a V60. I believe Haribo makes them, but a V60 for the actual pour over process. And then you'll need the filters, and you'll need some way to heat up water. So really any kettle will do. You want to be able to control the flow of the water as much as possible, because you don't want to just be dumping water. You're going to have to measure it out. So get yourself a cheap food scale. You can just get one at like Target or something. Get yourself a hand burr grinder and get yourself an electric kettle, and you'll be on your way. You can obviously go way expensive in all of those categories. You can get a super nice grinder, super nice kettle, all of that. But if you're just starting out, that's where I would go. So, and then get yourself some light roast coffee and taste the magic. I don't know what's wrong with my camera. It's ticking me off though, so I know it's ticking y'all off. Give me a second here. We're going to see if that did anything. I just tried it. We'll see if that does. Nope, still flickering. You know what? Maybe if I unplug it and replug it. Instagram, bear with me. I'm fixing something for YouTube. Bye. Well, maybe. Jeez. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. At least y'all can still hear me, so you know I'm still here. Gosh. Let me try flipping it. Maybe if I flip it over. All right. We're back. We'll see if that fixes the flickering. Can we get any info on Project Skybound? Didn't fix the flickering. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Can we get any info on Project Skybound? You will know everything you need to know very soon. That's all I'm going to say. Everything you need to know will be revealed very soon. These aren't energy drinks. This is just a hydration drink. Element.com/foundation. Get yourself a starter pack. Literally drink this every day. It's phenomenal. It is a lot of sodium, but I run every day and play disc golf in the heat every day. So if you're not sweating a bunch, stay away from it. But if you do sweat a bunch like I do, and if you're a very salty sweater like I am, most runs I'm pinching salt off me and I could sprinkle it after. These things are a lifesaver. Get you all your electrolytes, get you feeling right. I can notice a huge difference when I'm not drinking it. So not an ad read, but Foundation is a partner with them. So absolutely love it. If you liked Blurry Horse, you'll love Flicky Hunt. I don't know if I'm going to go with that, Shay. Yeah, I don't think I'm sticking with that. When are you going to get some Flex Fit hats for us big-headed people? We've had some before. We might get some more in. I don't know. I will say our performance trucker hats. Definitely fit bigger head people. I'm a very small-headed person. Like, for instance, this is like over. This is just a typical dad hat, and I have to like go over on it. But what we did is we adopted something like this hat does. A lot of hats do on the performance trucker, which is we have the Velcro and everything, but then this little elastic piece right here is goated because it gives a flex fit. I'll show Instagram too. It gives a flex fit type fit, so it makes it super comfy. So our performance truckers do that. Our performance dad hats might do that. Do I have one? I don't know if our performance dad hats do or not, but our performance truckers do, and they're so good. So they aren't exactly flex fit, but they fit like a flex fit. So absolutely love those. All right, we'll do like one more question and then wrap it up. I got to finish up the top 25 blog for June and for the first or second quarter. And I got to get some stuff ready for Imposter. It's an exciting week leading up for that. And July 4th. Of course, July 4th, Friday. So if there's no other questions, we'll wrap it up there. But check out the site for Project Grip releases this week. We have the Patriotic West Side stamps. We've got some new stuff from Discmania. We got a bunch of fun custom stamps. And then obviously the MVP the MVP pre-orders are also live on the site. So check out all of that fun stuff. And I won't be back next week. I won't be here next week because I'm going to be tied up with imposter stuff all next week. But what's exciting is, like I said, we have a lot of creators coming in for imposter. So over the weeks after that, there should be a lot of cool collab content coming on our channel and a bunch of other people's channels. So that'll be fun. But won't be here next week. I'll be back in 2 weeks, and I'll talk to you all then. See ya.